Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm just going to start today by saying I hope everyone watching this is well, and if you're not well, I hope you're safe and you're in good hands and you're isolating at home, and you're taking care of yourself and your family members. That it's a really tough time right now. I realise that. I just wanted to go live really with a message, which is some of us will not know what to do with ourselves whilst we are isolating. And if we're lucky enough to actually be well during this time, we're going to be wondering how and where and what we're going to do. Some of us may be able to work from home, some of us won't, some of us have no work, some of us have been let go, some of us have been signed off. There's many options going on here. So how do we, as a person facing an absolutely unknown situation, how do we cope, and how do we even try to transform this crisis into an opportunity beyond the crisis? I think the most important thing that we all have to do now is we need to stay safe. And the best way from the governments across the world, I think, are in agreement. The most and effective way to stay safe is to isolate. So isolate yourself where possible, to isolate yourself so you don't infect anyone and so you don't become a victim of the virus yourself. That is the most important thing. Now, if you are isolating in your house like I am, and I'm having minimum interaction, apart from having to go out and get food, that means that I can only work now from my computer. And I'm fairly savvy at working from my computer, and some of us are and some of us aren't. This is my first challenge today of going live on YouTube. I'm used to using Facebook and Instagram. So this is new. So this is just experimental for me. And I thought that I would have a play on YouTube and see how that works. I have gone live in the past, but things have all changed. And apparently I need a streaming encoder now if I want to stream, but I've got to work all that out. But what an opportunity, right? I haven't got any work. I can't do anything. I'm self-employed. My whole business is in the leisure industry as a horse trainer. And I can do absolutely nothing now until we're off lockdown. So I'm going to utilize this time to learn things like how to use YouTube live streams, which is, that's an example of my utilizing the time. I'm going to do a lot of studying, and I'm going to try and build my online business. Now, I had a little bit of an online business before. I have a following in classical dressage, and I have a website that's half finished called My Ride Wild Pony. And I've been knowing about whether or not it was worth finishing or what I was going to do with it. And suddenly we've got children in England with a 5-month holiday period. And I think they're going to be a little bit bored. And my Ride Wild Pony is about helping them learn how to look after ponies. And I'm going to go every day into the yard. I'm going to talk about little things to do with looking after ponies and do mini pony days. And we're going to do pony days online, which will be maybe an hour or two at a time. Not sure how it depends on my internet, how much I can do live. It might have to be recorded, because I noticed the internet, you may have noticed this, the internet speed is slowing down already, because I think everyone's obviously using their internet. So this is basically, hopefully, I'm here today to help you by sharing my own story, to help you think outside the box. What can you learn? What can you do? What business could you start during this time of crisis, where if you are lucky enough to be able to be home with nothing to do, how can you change your life? And how can you set yourself up in such a way that when this crisis is over, and it won't last forever, when it is over, you are poised, have created maybe a following, have created yourself a brand or a business brand, or you've created yourself as somewhat of an influencer, so that you can take your message and you can create your business and at that point start to monetize it, if not before. So again, using myself as an example, I'm a horse trainer, can't train horses right now. So I'm going to educate children how to look after their ponies, which I can do standing in my yard with my ponies. And I'm going to teach people, I'm going to talk theory about dressage for the adults, because they probably some of them can ride now, some of them can't. So I can't actually show anyone a horse, but I can talk theory. So I'm looking for what I can do in my business that doesn't require me to actually go out there. And I'm hoping that you can do the same. So those of you who are, I mean, everyone's on Facebook, almost everyone's on Facebook. Facebook is a really fantastic place to start. Facebook and Instagram and YouTube are probably your three biggest platforms, and possibly for children, it's Instagram. Also smaller things like TikTok and Snapchat. For adults, it's Facebook and YouTube. So your first goal will be to figure out what you can offer people that will help them now. What can you offer people when this is over? And what can you build to be of service? There's two things people need right now. If you think about it, it's not rocket science. People need to feel better and they need to be entertained. And entertain, whether it's entertained as in it's funny or entertained as in they're learning more about something. So entertained and educated. If you can entertain and educate at once, that's even better. And they need to have information, and they need to know how to be safe, and they need to know how to survive. And obviously I don't mean survival, like, what do you do when you know electricity and water? But I actually mean, how do you survive when you can't work, and how do you fall back on your own resources? We have the internet. We have the ability to reach other people and serve them online, but you're going to have to think really hard. How does your actual business translate into an online business? So I'm going to start talking about that a little bit each day on here. How do you set up your own online business? How do you actually how do you create a Facebook page? How do you create a Facebook group? Where do you go to find out information about that? Why would you want to do that? And how do you create yourself as a brand? But the most important thing is, none of that's going to do you any good unless you know what you really want to do. And if you can do anything you want right now, why not do what you really want? So my challenge to you tonight is to think about, what do you really, really, really want to do? If you didn't have a job already, if this was the end of the world as you know it, and on some level it kind of is, I mean, not really, but things are going to be different after this. So this is an opportunity to reset and restart. So who are you and what do you want? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you have in your life? What would you be doing? And don't limit yourself. You have to start with big ideas. You have to start with thinking, what would I really like to do every day on a daily basis? I used to be a software recruiter, and what we would ask the engineers is, we'd ask the software managers what they wanted the engineers to do on a daily basis. What does a day of work look like? So we could figure out what they were really looking for skills wise. And you need to ask yourself that question in reverse. What do you want to be doing on a daily basis? Really, what do you want your life to look like? Not everyone thinks life like that. Why not? I tell you the one thing that I've discovered in the last week, 10 days, there's been this chaos that's been starting. It's what really matters to me. And that is that I'm with my son, and that is that I am happy and joyful, that life isn't just this endless nightmare of how to make money at any cost, doing anything. That isn't a life. That's just existence. And all of us, every single one of us, deserves better. And those of you who get the opportunity to think about that, then you're very, very lucky. I know some people, they're thinking about how to eat and to drink. If you are one of the lucky ones who is able to have access to a computer, you are massively gifted, and you have a chance to change your life into anything you want. Okay, so you already have such opportunity, and you're so privileged compared to so many people in the world. So no excuses. You're very privileged. What do you want now? What do you really want to do every day for the rest of your life? Is it the same business you were doing before, or do you want to pivot, or do you want to change completely, or do you want to use this time to plan your escape from a job you hate or a business you don't want to run anymore? You've got time. We also haven't got time to think about these things. Well, you've got time now. So use this crisis to change how you approach things. Think about what you want. What do you really, really want? If you could wave a magic wand, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 6 months? Firstly, stay safe. Secondly, this is the time to design your life. Okay, that's your homework, guys. Lovely to meet you all. I hope you are going to enjoy your homework and stay safe. And I shall be back to talk a little bit further about once you've figured out what you really want, what do you want to do next? So signing off. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you all, and enjoy to the best of your ability the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay well. Take care.